When you hear about AI that can fix software code all by itself, it's really easy to get lost in the technical jargon. But today, we're going to step back and look at this for what it truly is, a C-suite conversation. We're talking strategy, we're talking risk, and we're talking about a potentially massive competitive advantage.
So, to really get why this is such a big deal, you have to start with a number that's, well, it's almost hard to wrap your head around. $23 trillion. That is the projected global cost of cybercrime by 2027. I mean, that's bigger than the economy of most countries. And that's the chaotic world this new AI tech is designed to tackle.
So yeah, the engineers can geek out on the algorithms, and they should. But for us, right now, we're going to focus on the questions that every executive should be asking. This isn't a deep dive into the tech. Think of this as your strategic briefing. We're going to explore what this really means for your bottom line, for your spot in the market, and for your future. We'll kick things off by framing the problem. Just how big is it? Then we're going to put on a few different hats. We'll look at this through the eyes of a CFO worried about costs, a CTO dealing with a strange internal AI conflict, and a sales leader looking for an edge. And finally, we'll map out a smart way forward. First up, the cyber pandemic problem. And that term pandemic might sound a little dramatic, but it's not. It perfectly captures the nonstop, always growing crisis we're in with software security. So let's take a look at the technology that's built to fight back. The material we're looking at gives us a great name for this kind of tech, a CodeMender. Put simply, it's an AI that acts like a tireless 24/7 security guard for your code. It's constantly scanning, finding vulnerabilities, and then, this is the magic part, it automatically creates the fix, tests it, and puts it in place. So it's not just finding problems, it's actually solving them, on its own. Okay, let's switch hats. Let's put on this CFO hat. For any head of finance, everything, and I mean everything, comes down to the numbers. So let's dig into the dollars and cents as all this. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Look at the massive gap on this chart. The global average cost of a data breach, about $4.5 million. But in the US, it's a staggering $10.22 million. That's not just a coincidence. The source calls it the U.S. penalty, basically a unique financial punishment for getting breached in the American market, thanks to tougher regulations and higher costs to fix things.
And here's another number that should make any CFO sit up and pay attention. $1.14 million. This is what the source calls the 200-day rule. Basically, breaches that get stopped in under 200 days cost on average over $1 million less than the ones that drag on. An AI that patches flaws in minutes? Well, that directly attacks this number, shrinking that window of risk and saving a potential fortune.
This table just lays out the financial tightrope perfectly. You see that top line, right? The potential savings from AI and automation, almost $2 million. You think, great, easy win, but look right below it. The penalty for not having the right human experts to manage your security costs you almost $1.6 million. The takeaway is crystal clear. Buying the shiny AI tool without investing in the people to oversee it is just bad math. Okay, time to switch hats again. Let's step into the shoes of the Chief Technology Officer. From their perspective, there's a really strange internal conflict brewing. And it's a conflict where the very AI that's supposed to be helping is also kind of creating the problem. And here it is. This is the core of the conflict. On one side, you've got these incredible AI tools that help your developers write code way faster. But here's the catch. They can also introduce brand new security flaws. And on the other side, you have the AI for code remediation, the CodeMenders, whose whole job is to find and fix those exact flaws. You literally have an AI versus AI battle happening inside your own development process. And if you need proof this isn't just a theory, well, here you go. Studies are showing that a shocking 40 to 45% of the code generated by AI has security vulnerabilities in it. That's nearly half. This isn't some small side issue. We're using one type of AI to speed up making problems for another type of AI to solve. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. So how is this even happening? Well, think about it. The AI learns from tons of code out on the internet, and a lot of that code is not secure. So it just repeats those bad habits. It also loves to pull in all sorts of open source stuff, which can create a tangled mess of new risks. And often, it just forgets to add basic security checks unless you specifically tell it to. It makes coding fast, for sure, but not necessarily safe. All right, so we've talked about all these costs and all these internal conflicts. It might sound a little bleak, but is there an upside? Oh, yeah, a big one. Let's pivot to the sales and marketing view, where we can flip this whole conversation from a defensive cost into an offensive, powerful competitive advantage. This quote just nails it. We live in an age of constant supply chain attacks. And because of that, a customer's trust in their vendor's security is everything. It's not just a checkbox on a form anymore. It is a fundamental reason why someone will choose to buy from you or from your competitor. So, how do you actually turn this into a weapon for your sales team? It's a three-step playbook. First, you adopt the AI remediation tech and build a truly resilient foundation. Second, you use that automation to get rid of security delays so you can innovate and release new features faster than everyone else. And third, this is the crucial part. You market that resilience. You make it part of your sales pitch. Your message becomes, we're not just better, we're safer, and we're faster. But of course, there's no silver bullet for anything, right? A smart executive knows that any powerful new technology brings with it a whole new set of quieter, more subtle risks. So for our last section, let's look at the strategic path forward and how to manage those hidden dangers.
So what is it we should actually be worried about when we hand over the keys to an autonomous AI? The risks are a bit different than you might think. They go way beyond just the usual security flaws.
The source points to three big ones. First, these subtle logic errors. Imagine the AI patches a security hole, but in the process, it accidentally breaks your billing system. Whoops. Second, there's the governance gap from what's called shadow AI. That's all the AI tools your employees are using without anybody's approval, creating huge blind spots. And third, you have the risk of amplifying bias, where an AI could fix code in a way that has really unfair, discriminatory results. So how do you handle these risks? You need a clear four-step action plan. You've got to create a C-suite level council to own this and be accountable. You need to train your developers in secure prompting so they know how to talk to the AI safely. You absolutely must mandate a human in the loop, an expert who validates every single fix the AI makes. And finally, you have to be honest about the skills you have and be ready to bring in outside experts to fill the gaps. And that right there brings us to the core idea of this entire explainer. The arrival of this powerful, autonomous AI doesn't make your human experts obsolete. No way. In fact, it makes them more valuable than ever before. The future isn't going to be about replacing people with AI. It's going to be expert augmented. The winners won't be the companies that just buy the AI tools, but the ones who master them with smart, strategic human oversight.